Hey everyone, Kevin here. What I'd like to do in this video is show you a WordPress plugin. It's called Business Directory Plugin. The plugin is actually free to download. This is the developer's website that I've got here just now. And it's got quite a lot of cool features. It's not perfect, no WordPress plugin is, but you know, there's a lot of cool features. Some of the features aren't available until you add a premium add-on, but there's enough in the free version to keep you interested and to get you going. So if you're looking for it on WordPress.org, you will find it under this name, Business Directory Plugin, and of course you will see it under your WordPress admin area as that as well if you just go through to the plugin section. And I was skipping through a lot of the features there, but I'd rather show you how it works. As far as how it looks, now this here is the basic directory. It's how it looks when you add the business directory. It's just a shortcode called business directory. You can add it to any post or page and it will display this, the find listings directory, view listings, etc. You can see there I've only added one just now. I really just kind of played around with it. You can add a photo and things like that. Now this isn't a good example of what it can do. If you go to the official website and yeah, so you can see the demo here. Click on the demo link at the top of the page and you can see here, basically give you a better idea of how this would work. So this is a kind of general local directory business type of thing that they've used. You can see here you can search for keywords, the city, state. The clicking on view listings does exactly what it says. It will list all the listings in the directory. Create a listing will create a like a form. It will display a form for users to submit. Okay, that's coming up. So this is the kind of demo page. If you click on the directory, it should take you back to the home page, which it does. Now you can see here they've attached images to the categories as well, and they've also got states and then regions down here as well, cities. It's pretty cool. As far as using it goes, it's a very, very easy plugin to use. Now you can see I've got the listing there. If you go into the that's just kind of the general page. Okay, so if you go into the directory themes, I'll just go through all the pages, etc. This is a themes page. Now you've only really got there's two, but basically this is a new one, the default theme, and they've also included the old one, which was pre version 4.0. So there's two themes that you can use. The default one's a little bit better. If you go to the website, in fact, I'm trying to think where the link is. There's one at the bottom of the page. Now you can buy additional themes. So one downside is that there isn't any way to customize your theme. So this kind of basic look is very limited. There isn't any templating system or anything like that just now, or any kind of visual page builder, anything like that to help you design your theme, customize your theme, change how things are laid out. It's quite limited in that regard, but there is additional themes. There's the business card theme, elegant business theme, mobile compact theme, restaurant theme, tabbed business theme. So look at the restaurant theme, for example. You can see, yeah, that's how it would look. And let me see, try the elegant business theme. Just a little bit different. I mean, to be honest, none of them are actually, from a design point of view, none of them are amazing. But the idea is they really just go inside your website design. You can see here, each theme here costs $49.99 for single site usage. Multiple websites is $99.98. And you can see here, I like this actually. They do this with their add-ons and their themes. They charge you for support and updates on a yearly basis, but in the second year onwards, you're only going to get charged 25% of the cost. Now, that is common for plugin developers to offer a discount, but normally the discount isn't that great. Normally you're talking 50% at most, and they've offered a 75% percent discount. So in the following year, I'll only be paying, like $12.50 for that. It's pretty cool. You can get all 6 themes, or 5 themes, sorry, as a bundle. $99.99, multiple websites, $199.99. Again, I do feel that this is an area that should really expand in the plugin, give you some options, even if it's only an add-on or, for premium users, give users some way to change things around, move things around, and just give you a little bit more control. At the moment, you're quite limited to how it works, and that it will look like that, essentially. When you add a new listing, this is how you add a listing manually, but you can see here there's lots of fields that you can display. I'll come to fields soon, but you can see there's a lot of business related things, URL, business phone number, business fax, business contact email. You can upload an image, etc. And of course you can add your description and what you want there as well. You can charge a fee for someone, displaying, submitting a submission to your website, displaying their website on your directory, but that's an add-on. As far as options goes, this thing is pretty good. You can see the 6 tabs here. This is a general one. So here you would modify permalinks, the reCAPTCHA settings for the anti-spam, registration settings, terms and conditions, display options. You can decide what search fields are displayed in the search form, where the search form is displayed, above, below results, don't show with the results, all this kind of thing. Listings. So you can control, let me see, just give you a few examples. How many listings per page, listing duration, include listing contact form on listing pages. There's different renewal options as well. So you can basically charge people on a yearly basis or a monthly basis, whatever, for being displayed in your directory. Post category settings, listing sorting, featured sticky listing settings. There's a lot of different options there for how the websites and services, etc., are listed in the directory. In the email section, you can change when people are notified, when admin is notified, and you can customize the email templates. So there's a lot of different emails that can be sent out to people. So you can see example here. There's an email will be sent out saying that your directory submission is going to expire, advising them to upgrade again or to pay to renew the submission, things like that. There's basically every single thing, every email that's sent out, you can modify it. So that's pretty cool. By default, you can only use authorize.net as a payment gateway. So when you install the free plugin, the free version, the core version, if you will, this version, you can only use authorize.net, and you can charge anything, any currency you want and all that. But really, you're going to have to upgrade, buy an add-on if you want to use PayPal or Stripe or anything like that. I can see why they've did this. Sometimes developers do include PayPal, as standard, and then they charge for other ones. But it kind of makes sense, I suppose. They want to try and encourage people to upgrade. So if you do want to start charging people for submitting websites to your directory, then you probably need to buy an add-on. I'll speak about the add-ons in a minute. I just want to go through this section first. This part is kind of pointless, really. It's just saying the button style. I'm surprised this is actually in its own tab. You can use the BD theme style for BD buttons or the WP theme. And finally, there's some image settings. You can change the default image size, file size, height, width, dimensions, the thumbnail size, and the number of listings for a number of free images before they need to pay. Now, this section is the fee section. Now, by default, you've got the free listing, duration 365 days. This is the kind of default one that they add in. But once you add in different payment gateways, then you've probably you can be a little bit more flexible with how you charge people for submitting a directory, submitting a website to your directory. You can see the add-ons down below. Get PayPal, to checkout, PayFast, and Stripe. Hopefully we'll see some more gateways in the future. But when you're adding a listing fee, you can see here that you can set an amount and then you can charge per days, or if someone pays $50, say, it can be listed forever. number of images that are allowed, whether it's sticky, which categories it applies to, and a description of the fee. Using this, you can really kind of build up a lot of different payment options and different options for users to submit a website. You could have one, perhaps it says, let me see for an example, you could say you could set a fee, say $100 to submit for a year. Maybe it's $10 per month. So they'll save 2 months if they order, on a yearly basis. Perhaps you can set up another one where, they make their listings sticky, and then you can charge for that as well. So it's quite flexible in that regard. So we get the form fields here as well. Now, I showed you that in the forum earlier, where when you add a new listing, you can add the business name, genre, and all that. I was really pleased to see that this wasn't limited. Sometimes this kind of functionality is limited and it's restricted to an add-on. But in the core version, in the free version, you can delete any field and you can add any new field and you can add it to your form. So this allows you to really customize the directory in any way that you want. And when you go to add a new form, you can see all the different types you've got there. Text fields, select list, URL field, text area, radio button, pretty much everything. They've got a few social media websites supported there, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Next, we've got listings. As I said, I've only got one just now. And from a kind of a developer, from a website owner point of view, it's quite cool because they have quite a few tools. You can see them here at the bottom. They've got CSV import, CSV export, debug, and uninstall. Now, in the import and export sense, there's quite a lot of options. You can really control how the CSV file is controlled, as far as commas, semicolons, tabs, image separators. You can change the settings of things when they're imported, where it's, set as draft, published, generate errors and things like that. So say when you're exporting, you can really determine what data is exported, etc., whether images are included. It's pretty cool. There's a debug page for resolving developer issues and any problems with it. You can pass on to the developers. And there's an uninstall tool, and that's really good to see as well. I'm liking that there's more developers that are starting to include this. Normally what happens is when this uninstall tool isn't included, then what happens is that when you remove a plugin, when you deactivate it or delete it, then it leaves all the data in your WordPress database. Perhaps there'll be lots of tables or rows, etc., that you don't need anymore, and yet they're still in your database. So essentially what they're doing is making your database larger than it needs to be because all that information is still there. So it's good to see that they've included this option to uninstall it. That's certainly welcomed, and I'm hoping that more plugin developers start going down this route. And I would like WordPress to actually be a little bit more forceful on this and make this required for every single plugin in the WordPress directory. I hope that's the route to go down. So enough of a tangent. I want to show you the premium modules, or the add-ons, or the extensions, however you call it. So again, you can buy it as a combo pack. A single website, $200 for a single site license, $400 for multiple websites. And down below we have the modules. There is 12 in total, but if you look here, in fact, I'll make the page larger. So a few of them are related to payments. You've got 2Checkout, we've got PayFast, PayPal, and Stripe. So of the remaining 8, we have a claim listings module. So this allows businesses to claim. So if you add a website, for example, to your directory as an example, and then the business could come to you and say, well, that's my website, then that would allow them to claim the website and then manage their submission. There's an option for adding discount codes, file attachments, Google Maps. It's pretty standard. File attachments is useful for documents, PDF documents, and things like that. The featured levels module is pretty cool. So this allows you to set up different paid levels for listings. And if your directory starts getting big, this is the kind of thing you probably would want to add to give different levels of users, premium users, normal users, basic submissions, and things like that. We've also got a ratings module, and that's another thing that can really improve your directory, allowing people to, add ratings when they leave a comment. We've got a regions module, if you want to add zip codes and things like that. if you've got a kind of local directory, this is something that would be quite cool. And finally, obviously they've got payment modules there. Finally, we have a zip search module. So for location-based searches. Very, very cool. You can see the prices there. $60 per single site, $120 for multiple sites. If so for 3, about $180, and at that price, you're as well getting all 12 for 200, I would say. Now, as far as price goes, I talked about this in my review, which I published a few days ago, and my kind of view on it is that price is always subjective, and this is, I feel like I always should comment on whether something gives value, but the problem is that value is subjective. But I do think that they probably could make the pricing a little bit more competitive, because the way that it's priced, if you order just one theme, like if you look at the themes actually, even if you only order one theme, you're $50. So you're $50 if you want a better theme, or choose one of those themes. If you want 3 modules, so say for example, you want the PayPal module, you want the ratings module, and you want Google Maps, then you're up to $180. And at that price, you're as well just paying for the business directory combo pack. So it's kind of priced in a way to get you up to that. So with one theme, only one, and all modules, and it kind of makes sense to have all modules because, the way that it is, you'd probably want ratings, you'd probably want PayPal or Stripe, or perhaps both to give people options. So I would say for most users, they would be encouraged to go for the business directory combo pack at $200 or $199.99 and a theme. So, that's $250 right away. Now, I like the freemium basis. I really do support it. I think it's great when developers offer a free version on WordPress.org. It means that people that don't have the money to upgrade can still use it, and they can use the basic functionality. I do kind of feel though, I don't know, maybe they're kind of pricing themselves out the market a little bit. $250 or $200 for all features. It's a lot of money for a plugin of this type, especially when I think there's some things missing. As I said, you can't really modify themes in any way. There's no way to customize the design. There's no advertising integration either. So there's no way to add banners, or really you're limited to whether a submission is sticky or not, and that's it. And there's no denying that the actual look of the directory is quite dated. Without a doubt, I think it's quite dated. And all the new themes, although the themes are, I wouldn't go far as saying as a theme, maybe even a skin, it's just a slight variation of the design. It's not like a complete overhaul of the theme. So I think the overall look of the directory is quite basic. So that's something that goes against it as well. So from that perspective, I do think that some of the modules, etc., are quite expensive, and I'd hope that they maybe drop the price, perhaps all the modules for $100 or something like that. But again, as I was saying, price is subjective, value is subjective. And if you start a directory and you start populating it with a lot of submissions, a lot of websites, then when you start charging for submissions, if you're charging $20 a submission, $50 a submission, then it won't be long until you pay this back. So if you are looking at it as a business venture, or if you do have a high traffic website already, then you'd probably get a lot of people, paying for submissions early on. I've never really been, I've done it before. I've did this before myself, where I've started a website from scratch, and I've, a directory website, but it's very hard to get traffic until you populate it yourself. The better way to tackle a directory website is to have an existing website with it, whether it be your company website, whether it be a blog. Once you've got traffic, then it makes sense to add a directory. And, if you've got traffic, then you don't need too many submissions to pay for the cost of that. So if you take that into account, then maybe what I was saying about price, it's not as expensive as it first comes across as, because you can really offset the cost by, charging people to pay for submissions to your directory. Overall though, it's not perfect. There's certainly a lot of things that could be improved upon, but if you're looking for a simple kind of directory, I would definitely check it out. It seems to be updated quite frequently, and it's very easy to use. And, bear in mind, see when I say things, what during my reviews about it's not got this feature, it's not got that feature, sometimes I'm kind of being picky, you know what I mean? The reason that I do that is because everyone's looking for something different. Everyone uses WordPress in a different way. So don't take it too negatively. I was quite impressed with the plugin. It's very easy to use. It's free to download and use. And, you know, everything I said there about price, you're not required to pay anything if you don't want to. It's only if you need those additional modules. And maybe if you just want to charge for submissions, the only module you need to pay is the PayPal one or the Stripe one. And, you know, $60, and that's you got a way to make money from your website. Please do check it out. It's Business Directory. You'll find it on businessdirectoryplugin.com, and you will see it on wordpress.org as well. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Please do check out my full review to hear to read about my thoughts. I'll attach this video to the review. And until next time, thanks for watching.